Hi, welcome to my channel. My name is Hannah
Okay,
Rose. So this is my 1 month update vlog on how gentle night weaning is going. My baby is now 15 months old and I want to share the things that have been coming up as I have been attempting to night wean him. I will share my top tips, which of those we really implemented, and how the shift has gone since then. Is my 15-month-old sleeping through the night yet? And why I almost gave up on breastfeeding completely and how I got through that. Well, I did my 1 week of gentle night weaning vlog, and in general, it had gone fairly smooth, and I was really impressed that my baby seemed like he was working on putting himself back to sleep when he would wake up in the middle of the night. He would just fuss a little bit and kind of go back to sleep. I was feeling really good about it, but as time has gone on since then, in the last month, it has been a roller coaster. It has not been consistent. The main boundary that I had set for myself with the gentle night weaning was that I was okay with doing one feed when he first woke up. It has actually been a struggle for me to be consistent with that boundary over the last month. There has been times where I've been really strong and committed and really stuck to it, but there was a lot of other nights where I was just exhausted and maybe I forgot to look at the time, or I just wasn't asking my husband for any help when the baby was waking up. And I just started to feel kind of overwhelmed and tired again. So I was kind of slipping back into old patterns. I've really come to the point within this last month of being okay with dropping that last feed. I am now feeling super great about no more feeding at night in general. I mean, maybe in the future, if he's really sick or something, I'll be okay with that. But in general, I'm really feeling like he's okay without feeding at all. So I'm excited about that. I'm feeling good about it. Is he sleeping through the night? He sleeps through the night sometimes. In the last month, he slept through the night 8 times. And it was in some kind of cycle. Like, he'd sleep through the night one night and we'd be so excited. And then the next night he'd wake up once. And then the next night he'd wake up 4 times. So, yeah, definitely not consistent. How did I come to the point of being totally done? Like, it got to the point of, I cannot do this anymore. I am over it. This isn't working. Basically, we had an entire month of me struggling to hold my boundaries at night, inconsistent wakings, inconsistent feedings, and there was, near the end of the month, there was these 2 mornings where he woke up really early and I didn't check the time, but it was around 4 in the morning, and I picked him up, brought him to bed, breastfed him. I kind of dozed back to sleep, and then eventually realized, oh my gosh, it's 4:45 or whatever, and put him back in the crib and he went back to sleep. And then he still woke up at his typical time of 5:30 or 5:45, wanted to breastfeed again, and then was up for the day. So those 2 mornings, after this month of struggling, I was just broken down. I was so tired. I had a long day at work. And I came to my husband, I'm like crying and exhausted, and I'm telling him, like, I can't do it anymore. If I can't hold these boundaries at night, and also just coming to the realization of this 5:30 a.m. waking is not working for me anymore. If I can't hold these boundaries, I am going to stop breastfeeding altogether. So, I mean, it was pretty dire. I actually spent a whole day and only did 1 really short breastfeeding session. My husband, thankfully, he's like, of course you can do whatever you want, but he did offer to be more of a support for me, and essentially he has been helping a lot more. and I am going to share what that looks like. I am still breastfeeding, and there has been some really positive shifts going on in our home. Well, I want to go over my top tips that have come out of this, over month-long process of gentle night weaning. So first I would say be careful with your expectations, because this is a process. It's not a magical thing that's going to happen overnight or in 1 week or even 1 month. It just depends on everything. Your baby, it depends on how firmly you're holding your boundaries. It depends on how much support you have. There's these really huge expectations in our modern culture of babies need to sleep through the night from a really young age, from 4 months, from 6 months. And I don't agree with that expectation completely. I really do believe that some children are better sleepers than others. I do believe that you can sleep train a child. That's just not necessarily what I have wanted to do with my children. It's a really big spectrum, and I'm somewhere in the middle. Having a check-in, is this working for me? Reevaluating boundaries or commitments. Figuring out what kind of support do I need to make this happen? Can my partner help me? Do we need to switch sleeping arrangements? Or, deciding what it is that you want and then asking them to help implement it or to help support in some way. Always check the time when your baby wakes up. If you're gonna pick your baby up or feed your baby, I would check the time. That has been really helpful for me. Taking turns with partner when baby wakes up. The baby's not gonna get breastfed anymore, so hypothetically your partner should be able to help. I know it doesn't always work for everybody, but it would be really nice. Have water on hand. What I've found is that it was a transition thing for us. We used it in like a transition period, and now he's okay without that. Sleep with pajamas on, because if I go to pick up my baby in the middle of the night and I'm not gonna give him the breast, I can't have him having access to them. So be prepared in that way. So that's it for my tips, and I just wanted to go back to which of those we really implemented and how the shift has gone since then. It's been about a week and a half since we implemented some new boundaries, and what they are is I am not breastfeeding at all at night, and I am no longer doing the 5:30 a.m. breastfeeding. And my husband has stepped up in a huge way, and we are taking turns. If the baby wakes up at night, he wakes up. If he's really, really crying, I will get up and put him back down or put my hand on him. And then next time he wakes up, my husband will do it. So we're taking turns. But my husband has been getting up with the baby at 5:30 a.m. because that's the waking where he really wanted to feed. So it was really imperative for my husband to start getting up with him at that time. Thank God, because if he wasn't willing to do that, I don't know what we would be doing right now. When we really shifted into these new boundaries, it was a rough maybe 4 nights. And this baby also cut 2 new teeth. So there's a lot going on here. But he woke up like 4 or 5 times a night for like 3 or 4 nights. And thankfully my husband was very helpful and very consistent. I think we have crossed some type of bridge or something. I don't know, but my baby is finally sleeping past 6 a.m. There are some days when my husband will put him back to sleep at 5:30, and then he's been sleeping past 6 fairly consistently for at least a week. And there has been some days where he didn't do his 5:30 a.m. waking, which is super awesome. So there was a day he slept until 7:23 in the morning. This baby has been waking up at 5:30 since he was 6 months old, so that was 9 months ago. I'm done waking up at 5:30 in the morning. He has been consistently sleeping longer, so we are all super excited. I'm really feeling like there's huge shifts going on. It was a really rough month, honestly, and so glad that we're through that. I'm really glad that we've made these new shifts and have created some new boundaries, because I'm feeling good about continuing to breastfeed during the day whenever it works for us. But I just had to pinpoint what wasn't working for us and figure out how to get the support that I needed to be able to continue in a healthy way. So I really hope that this video has helped you, and best of luck on your breastfeeding journey.